Hi everyone, thanks for joining and welcome to the Microsoft Expert Community Sessions. Our goal here is to bring the best Microsoft experts to help educate you to get the most out of Microsoft technologies. In each session, we try to focus on topics from administration, governance, Power Platform, Copilot, and plenty of other Microsoft goodness. We publish these frequently, so please make sure to sign up for our newsletters, follow us on social to get the latest. These videos also live on our website of ticket.ai in the resource section. So my name is Paul Sutton. I'm part of the Ticket team. For those who don't know, Ticket is a leading Microsoft-aligned IT service management platform built for the Microsoft Cloud. Today, I'm very lucky to introduce Marijn Somers. Marijn is a M365 MVP consultant and self-described spirit guide for all things M365. I will say that is one of the best titles I've seen before, so congratulations on that. So today's topic, we're going to focus on that the intranet doesn't look like SharePoint, which is essentially what is coming out on the latest of SharePoint Online and how that looks and feels. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this over to Marijn and you can take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paul. And also thank you to people at Ticket for this opportunity to talk about what is coming for look and feel in SharePoint. Maybe just a little bit about me. So I've been an MVP for 5 years for SharePoint and Teams, Microsoft 365. I've been working with SharePoint for over 16 years, and I think I've built around 50-ish intranets. So I love building intranets. It's what I do. Maybe not best, but it's what I love to do anyway. So I'm based in Belgium. I'm a freelancer, so I like to call myself a productivity coach at my own company. But if you know of me, it's probably because of the podcast that I do together with Steve Dalby, which is called Microsoft 365 Distilled. We recently changed the name, but you can still find us under the name Office 365 Distilled. And it's a podcast where we talk about Microsoft 365 like we would be hanging out in a bar. So that's actually where this podcast came from. Me and Steve would be sitting down, having a whiskey, having a drink, and just be talking about the projects that we do, the problems that we encounter, and how we solve them. That's a lot of the discussions that we have because we both have very different views about things. And that's always good for a good conversation. And we talk about adoption and governance, these kind of things. And we always end with a whiskey tasting. Now, we just recorded episode 146. So that means we also tasted 146 different whiskeys. So that's why I like to call myself a spirit guide. So maybe I should rename my title into the SharePoint Spirit Guide or Microsoft 365 Spirit Guide. Maybe that's a cool idea. A little of the cuff fact is also I'm a licensed watchmaker, so I did a 5-year study in night school to become a licensed watchmaker. So that's fun as well. And of course, I have to say, like, I love these long walks to the bar. I saw that somewhere. I thought that was pretty funny, so I just added that in there as well. So let's talk about intranets. I found this from Microsoft at some PowerPoint that they gave a few months ago, and it talked about the intranet, and it said that your intranet is a digital representation of your organization, and it needs to connect your employees to all the things that you do, your mission statement and all the information, all the published information that they need to do their work. And of course, it should look amazing. Yeah? And that's kind of the problem that we have today. So today, if we look at intranets that we are building, they all look kind of the same. And that's kind of a problem because it's pretty boring if you move to another company and you kind of want an organization to really have this specific look and feel, or maybe you are a company that sells ice cream or some soft drink or have like a very cool look and feel. You want to push that into your intranet as well to carry that brand to your employees. Now, if you want to do something like that today, there are a few things that you can do. So you could either buy a third-party software. There are a number of third-party things out there to create that extra layer on top of your SharePoint environment. You can build something yourself if you want to. Maybe you can already look at Viva Connections. To be honest, today I'm not really that happy about using Viva Connections for my whole intranet. I do think it provides a nice little layer on top of that, or it could provide that, but still missing a few of these bits and bobs to really make that the whole new thing. And of course, with the rise of Copilot, our generative AI solution, we will talk a little bit about that at the end of the session as well to see if that might be a solution for us as well. So the first option, we can buy something. So there are a number of companies that are providing web parts or even a whole layer on top of your SharePoint environment to create something that looks beautiful and to create something that doesn't look like SharePoint anymore. Because that always has been kind of a thing. Like when we went to SharePoint 2007, SharePoint 2013, we had our publishing environment. The question I got for each of all my projects was, don't make it look like SharePoint, because SharePoint looked pretty horrible back then. And everyone said, don't make it look like SharePoint. We want something that looks nice, that looks fun. Don't make it look like SharePoint. Now, these days, with our modern pages, it already looks way better, but we just don't have all those crazy things that we would like to do. So for example, if you're building a website, you can choose whatever colors you want to use, whatever images and thingamajigs. The sky's the limit. With SharePoint, today we're kind of more limited for that. So we can buy this extra layer to deliver that goodness, that visual goodness. We could also start building a number of things. So that could either be a whole layer on top of that as well. But what I've been doing for a lot of my customers is also playing around with the list formatting or the view formatting that we can apply to a specific list, and we can show that list on a specific page, and that could look very cool. Like for example, the middle one that you see here, the birthday tracker, that is something I've put, I think the last 3 years I've put that on at least 6 different intranets because it's an easy solution and it looks pretty good. But there are a number of things that you can do, and it's all built with JSON and JavaScript. Every developer knows how to do that. It's not that difficult. There are a ton of really cool examples if you follow this link that you can just follow. It's not that difficult, and the results can be pretty cool. Yeah. Now, Microsoft knows that today in SharePoint, the sky is not the limit. You can't do everything you want. So they know, they've been working on this. I know that it kind of looks like Microsoft has only been working on AI stuff for the last year, but that's not the case. They've really been working very hard at how SharePoint pages look and feel and work. So for that, and that's my major thing about my presentation, I want to show you what Microsoft is rolling out today, what they're rolling out in the next few months, and what's coming later this year. So that's what I want to show you. All right, cool. Let's dive in there. So they call it compelling content, and this is all to do with the aesthetics of your SharePoint site. So things kind of look pretty good, and we already had a few colors that we can add as a background to a section, things like that. It's pretty cool, but we want to do more. So we want to do more with typography. So that means adding your own fonts into SharePoint. We want to make our page layouts more flexible. Today we've got maximum of 3 columns with a vertical section next to it. Maybe that's not very flexible. If you got 3 options, that's cool. Having 12 options, that's better. Okay, so Microsoft knows about this, and they're working on that. Also, video content is getting more and more important, and also just embedded into all the things that we do. So Microsoft knows Microsoft's working on this, and also they want to make sure that we've got tools to create these things that are just super easy to do, so that everyone can do it, not just the lucky few or developers or people that have big IT affinity. No, we want to make sure that everyone that works in the workspace can create beautiful looking pages. So that is what we want to do, and that's where we want to go. So with that, I want to give you a little overview of the things that are coming. So this is SharePoint. This is a SharePoint page that we're looking at. And these are all kinds of really cool things that are coming, that are rolling out, and that we will be doing later on with our own SharePoint pages as well. Yeah. Now, this is a little overview, and we are going to deep dive a little bit into all the things that you see and all the specific things that are going to be different. So first of all, our hero web part, the hero web part that you know with the tiles, is going to get a carousel. To be honest, this is the one thing that I don't like. It's coming. It looks pretty cool, but I don't like carousels because they are hiding a bunch of information that you can't see anymore until you click on these next dots. So not a big fan, but I have to say this looks pretty amazing. Now, next thing is a functionality that is rolling out or has already rolled out, and that's the functionality to actually say, okay, I've got images on my page, and now I want to apply these images instead of just rectangular. I want to give them a little extra shape. So I love these pebble shapes. I love these circles. They just make your images pop out a little more, and it's a silly thing, but it looks just so much better and so much cooler if you have this. And you don't need to have like Photoshop or Illustrator or any other visual tool to change your images. You can just do it from SharePoint itself. So I think this is very cool. Now, this is only getting cooler. So the next things that I'm going to show you is it's going to up level the level of coolness of the things that you can do. Now, this is something that you should already be able to do today in your SharePoint site on your pages with your images. It has been rolling out. I'm not 100% if it's rolled out completely, but if you don't see that today, it will be there in the next few weeks. All right, next up is colored background sections. Now, what we have today is just, you can say, I've got a white background in my section, or I've got a gray one, or a light color, or the big color of the theme in my page. Now, later on, and this is something that is rolling out today, I already see it in most of my tenants, not in all of them. This is rolling out today, so you will be able to do that. To have other colors and to have images there as well. I will be talking about that later, but this, what I try to show with this is that if I just run that again, that little GIF, is that depending on the background color that you use, your text color of the section will automatically change. And this is going to enhance the accessibility and the readability of your thing. So if you just want to change the color, the background section, that's fine. And everything else will change accordingly so that it's always readable. So super important. Right. Next up, this is actually the part where I talk about these section backgrounds. So what you can do here is today, instead of 4 choices, you have so many more choices of adding a background color, and you can even add your own images. Now, this is something that is rolling out today, so it might be as well that you don't see this in your own tenant. I'm seeing this for a lot of my tenants that I'm managing. It is there already, and there are a number of things that you can do. So if you add your own image, you can choose, or you can play around with the opacity, you can play around with the focal points, and how these images need to look. I've already created a few very nice looking pages with this, so I am very happy with this functionality. It's pretty cool. You can also add multiple pages to multiple images to multiple sections to really create like visual blocks to say like this is what we do, why we do it, this is our team. It can be super visual to differentiate those parts of the page. So I love this functionality a lot. Now, another thing, and this is going to be rolling out in the future, is the functionality of adding videos in your background section. Yeah? So not just a picture, but a proper video to even make it cooler than what we have today. All right, cool. Another thing that we are going to get later this year is the way how one section moves over to the next section. So today, all our sections are box shaped. Yeah, they're all rectangulars underneath each other. And the new thing that will be rolling out later this year is different ways on how to have one section go over to the next section. Yeah. I'm super excited for this because this will add more flow to how our page looks and how our different sections look. So very excited for this one. All right. This is where it gets pretty cool. So this is also a little overview video on things that are coming and the ease and the flexibility to create pages. This is just to show you how incredibly easy it is going to be to create very beautiful looking pages and all the flexibility that you have with it. So you see that you can drop blocks onto a page. These blocks can be anywhere. You have design ideas, different ways to showcase your information, work together on the same page. Something that you can't do today, something that you can do in other tools like Word and Excel and PowerPoint, but not here. So just as well as with the previous one, let's deep dive into a number of these things that have been shown in this little video. So the first thing that I really want to show you is the new way of adding fonts to your SharePoint environment. Because today there's only one font, it's the default font. The new brand center is rolling out. As well here, I've got it on a number of tenants, not on all my tenants, but the brand center allows you to upload custom fonts, whatever fonts you want or have. You can upload these into the brand center and in SharePoint, make it a font package. Okay, if I have an H2 or if I have a title, if I have content, if I have clickable content, these should be the specific fonts that I want to use for this. And then you can apply that and that will all be shown. So if I just move that, show that again, what you see here is the way to apply these by going to change the look, where you can already change your theme today. You can just do that there, and then you see the page change, and you can save that. It could be a different font for every SharePoint site because this is all based on site level. So that is a very easy thing that will allow you to create a very cool looking page. Now, another thing that we will have is a content pane. So I'm creating a new page. I'm calling it Singapore Building Update. And what SharePoint will do is automatically propose some media that is related with the title of my post. So it's going to be about a building update. So it's automatically going to show me some building images, things like that. So I think that's pretty cool to have that. Also very important, something that you might have seen already in some of the other pages, is that the title block on the top of the page, which is now in the way, sometimes it's not very, it's something that we will be able to hide or to just get rid of. So that is something that I really look forward to, because if I have a different page and I set that page as a home page, you always get that title section in between as well. You will be able to get rid of that very soon. So I just wanted to add that in here as well. So this is that media that is automatically applied to your page. Well, it's proposed and you can add that to your page if you want to. Cool. So next up is design ideas. So whenever I create a PowerPoint, I'm always using design ideas. So I just add my content to a slide and I just go to the design ideas to make it beautiful. Now, this is coming to SharePoint as well. So Word already has it. Now it's coming to SharePoint. For now, it will only focus on text and images when it first comes out later this year. But later on, they will also apply other design ideas if you have like buttons and whatever on the section as well. So what this will do is you just add all the content to a section and the design ideas will let you see how you can make it look better, how you can make it look cooler, nicer, and just click one and it will set that up. I love that. I'm really looking forward to this, definitely. Next up is our flexible layouts. And this is the thing that excites me the most of all the things that are coming to Microsoft 365. This is the thing that excites me the most. This is a flexible layout. Instead of a 1 column or a 2 column or a 3 column, you can now say, I want to have a flexible layout. That means you got 12 columns to choose from, and you can just drag and drop your web parts on there like you can do today. You can choose how high this should be. You can drag around your web parts just like you can do today, but now you can play with 12 items or 12 columns wide. So that means a lot more options to make a specific block in a section pop out to make it look beautiful. So you can apply multiple web parts to that flexible layout, and you can just play around with where all these web parts need to be, where they all need to, well, how big they need to be, how wide they need to be, and they will always play with the amount of space that they get. So you see that here as well. If we add some stuff in there, some content, then it will just use the space that it will get. So this is really something that I'm looking forward to a lot, this flexible layout, because this will just let us do the most crazy things with our pages, whatever we want to do. Yeah. So if you remember anything from this whole presentation, let it be this one, because this is the coolest thing. All right. What else do we have? So I've already said that Microsoft wants to make it easy for people. So we've got the flexible layouts on the one hand. On the other hand, this is something that is going to come later this year as well, which is co-authoring on a page. Today you can do this in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and in OneNote. So just create or work on the same document with multiple people. You can't do this today in SharePoint. I see this sometimes where person has forgotten to publish the page that they're working on, and then they went on a holiday, and then other people want to change that page and they can't because it's still checked out to that person. This is going to be the solution for that. So now we have multiple pages, multiple people that can go into a page, have and do changes. What else will be possible? It will also be possible to leave comments, just like you can in a Word file today. You can leave comments for the person that is creating that page or is working on that page. Now we can do that, or well, this is going to roll out as well, where we can also leave some remarks for people, comments for different things. So looks very good. This will really allow us to work together to create those beautiful pages. Now the big question, when is all this goodness coming? So there's already a lot of things available now. As I've shown you before, the image shapes, they should be available today. There are a number of things like these different section backgrounds with multiple options should be there today as well. What is rolling out now and coming into the summer? So we see the brand center with the custom fonts. I already see that in most of my tenants. Page co-authoring is coming this summer, where we can work with multiple people on the same page. The custom section backgrounds, where you can add your own images in there. Something that I haven't shown you, but that I'm also pretty happy about, is the heading level for web parts. So today, if you add web parts to a page, they all have a title, and those titles are always the same height or the same heading level. Now you can also play around with those, make some titles bigger, make some titles smaller. I think that is also very cool. And also the remove title functionality that's coming this summer as well. I am very, very much looking forward to that, because that will make a lot of my pages much better. I know that there's a solution with PowerShell to remove that and to change the state of a page, but this should just be in the UI, and Microsoft is bringing that into the UI, so I'm happy with that. And then later this year, what's coming is themes in the brand center, so you will be able to add your own themes in there. The design ideas that I've shown you, I think that is something that I'm looking forward anyway. And then the flexible layouts, I think that is really gonna change the way we build pages in a tremendous way. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, that's what's coming. Let's talk about Copilot, because no presentation these days should be can be complete if you don't mention Copilot. So we are talking about the intranet, and intranet is a place where you can go to find information. Now, what Copilot is kind of a chatbot that I can ask for information. So on the one hand, Copilot will let me create beautiful sites or useful sites. I can just say, hey, Copilot, generate a page or create a site that does this and this and this, and that will do it. But on the other hand, when I'm an end user going to the intranet and I want to look up some information, I could very well ask Copilot for that information. And I did just that. I created a pet policy document and I put that in my HR site. And then when I ask Copilot, can I bring my dog to the office? It replies, well, you've got this pet policy document and that says you're not allowed to bring your dog to the office. So that begs the question, in the near future, do we still need to have an intranet? Or will AI be the place, or the Copilot be the place where we can just ask questions and it will just give us the answer without us having to search for the answer? So that would be very cool. For example, the one thing that is requested or the one page that is the most popular on an intranet is the lunch menu. What's for lunch today? That could be just a question that I can ask to Copilot, and it can just give me an answer back. Maybe you could give me some healthy options saying, well, I've seen you in your camera when you're in a Teams meeting. You look a little bit chubby these days, so maybe the salad is the better option. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, Copilot could be a replacement for our intranet. Could be. And of course, creating Copilots is something that will be available very soon. I don't know if you've seen the build keynote. So this is something that I'm looking forward as well. So with that, I think we can end. These are my contact details if you like to get in touch with me. Yeah, Paul, over to you.
Well, excellent job. Thank you so much for your time and that overview on SharePoint. Lots of great information, and it was fascinating just listening to what's going on with SharePoint. I agree. The flexible layouts looks really cool. It looks very intuitive, and you can make some really beautiful web pages. And I thought what you just said actually about Copilot and how that may even how that may even replace intranets. It's fascinating just even going back to our own world with Ticket. We have lots of AI integration now, particularly around knowledge and ticket deflection. And I'm sure obviously from a IT service management perspective, traditionally, there's always a self-service component, which can be obviously an intranet. And just the way that you're describing it is, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just there to serve as a knowledge piece. So if you can just go to a bot and it's a really rich repository of data, you really need the internet now. So that was very profound. So I'm just thinking and processing what you just said there, because it's something that's quite relevant for our own customers and world. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, the big question is, should I still take all that time to make my page look beautiful if we're just gonna use Copilot to get all that information? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we should do a session next time about that.
Yeah.
Do you need an intranet? I think that would be very intriguing. I'm sure lots of people would like to learn that.
Yep.
So, okay, cool. And then I know you've got your contact information here. Where is a good place for people to learn more? Is there any other sort of sites that you recommend?
Well, I'm publishing most of my stuff on Twitter and LinkedIn anyway. I do have a Dutch YouTube channel where I try to post one every week. I'm failing big time on that. But that's all in Dutch because I feel that there's a lot of people creating English things, but there's not a lot of people that are really creating Dutch content. So if you are a Dutch viewer of this, search for Man365 Coach, and then you will find my Dutch videos all around end user stuff for Microsoft 365.
That's great to know. That's awesome. And I guess my last question, but the most important question, is going back to your whiskey, the Spirit Guide. What is your favorite whiskey?
Ooh, that is such a hard
controversial
question. Oh, yes. It depends on the time of the day. What I have with my cornflakes or what I have with my steak at night. Yeah.
I think to be continued there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Marijn, thank you so much. And is there anything else before we close it out?
No, definitely check out the podcast if you're into podcasts. If you want to hear a good conversation about random topics, or just some good whiskey recommendations, check us out. You can find us on Spotify and Apple and all the other platforms anyway.
Well, I know personally I'm subscribing now, so
Right.
there you go. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate your time. This has been great. And I think that's a wrap. So thanks, everyone. And we will see you on the next session.